Aliens empty human girl's backpack and go pale when they see uniform. The cargo hold of the smuggler vessel smelled faintly of rust, plasma burns, and stale air. Somewhere in the dark recesses of the ship, water dripped steadily from a condensation pipe, echoing like a clock counting down. Leora sat on the grated floor, hugging her knees to her chest, trying to ignore the hollow hunger gnawing at her stomach. The straps of her school backpack dug into her shoulders. It was the only thing she clung to when the raiders snatched her off Earth. She had been walking home from the academy, earbuds in, thinking about exams and how to explain to her mother that she failed advanced astrophysics, when the world had gone black. Now she was in a ship light years away, surrounded by beings that didn't even breathe the same air she did. The crew of the Krav of the Spine were a mix of species. Chitinous vexery with shimmering carapaces, gray-skinned drifters who smelled of ozone, and their leader, Captain Draw, a broad-shouldered reptilian with eyes like molten gold. They had captured her not because she was special, but because she was human, and humans were becoming valuable. Draw stepped forward, his talon feet clicking on the deck. He tilted his head, studying the backpack she held. "Give it here, child," he growled in trade speech. His voice was gravel and steel. Leora shook her head. "It's just my school stuff. It won't mean anything to you." A ripple of laughter passed among the crew. To them, her fear was entertainment. Draw's tail lashed once, irritated. "Everything means something. Hand it over." One of the vexery clicked its mandibles and yanked the bag from her arms with surprising delicacy. The zipper screeched open. The crew leaned closer, their eyes glinting in the dim light as they pulled out the contents one by one. A pencil case, a tablet loaded with schoolwork, crumpled snack wrappers, a half-empty water bottle, and then, folded neatly at the bottom, her academy uniform. Draw froze. His golden eyes widened, then narrowed in something between recognition and dread. The vexery holding the uniform trembled, its mandibles clicking nervously. The crew, who had been laughing only moments before, fell into a stunned silence, where Draw hissed, his voice low and dangerous. "Did you get this?" Leora's mouth went dry. She looked at the pale gray fabric, stitched with the emblem of Earth's interstellar academy, a star cradled in a laurel, glowing bright. She hadn't even thought about it when she stuffed it into her backpack after gym class. "It's mine," she said softly. "Why?" Draw snarled, spinning on his heel, tail smashing against a crate so hard it splintered. The crew recoiled. The vexery carefully set the uniform back in the bag as though it might detonate. "You should not exist," Draw spat. "Not here. Not now." The middle. The Krav of the Spine slipped silently through the void, its crew unsettled by the presence of the human girl. For the first time since her abduction, Leora sensed fear. Their fear. The reptilian captain locked himself in his quarters, leaving the crew whispering in hushed tones. Leora could only catch fragments of their trade speech, but she heard enough. "Academy Forbidden War Purge." On the third day, Draw summoned her. His quarters were lined with relics. Plasma rifles, star charts etched on hide, and holos frozen in flicker. But his gaze was fixed on her uniform, laid out neatly on the table as if it were a holy relic. "You said this was yours," he said, his voice rougher than before. "Explain." "I go to the Interstellar Academy in New London," Leora replied, confusion and fear tangling in her throat. "It's just a school." "I'm not." "Not just a school." Draw slammed his claw against the table, rattling the objects there. "Do you even know what it means? That crest? That uniform?" Leora flinched. "It means I'm a student." Draw leaned forward, his fangs bared. A century ago, the Academy was the spear point of humanity's war against the galaxy. Every graduate became a soldier, a commander, a weapon. When the Treaty of Seoul was signed, when humanity agreed to remain on its single world and never again expand, the Academy was dismantled, destroyed, by force. There were none left. Leora's stomach twisted. "But it's real. I go there every day." "Impossible," Draw said flatly. "Unless," he stopped, his eyes narrowing as if staring at a puzzle piece that didn't fit. "Unless humanity has broken the treaty." The weight of his words settled like a black hole between them. That night, Leora couldn't sleep. She clutched her tablet, flipping through photos of her school, brick buildings, lecture halls, her friends laughing in the courtyard. How could something that felt so ordinary to her be considered impossible to them? A gentle clicking sound came from the shadows. One of the Vexery crept closer, its faceted eyes glowing faintly. "You human," it whispered in halting trade speech. "Why you wear uniform?" Leora hesitated. "Because I'm training. For space sciences. For peace, not war." The Vexery tilted its head, antennae twitching. "Long ago, your kind brought fire. Burned worlds. Uniform means death. Captain fears death returns." Leora's throat tightened. She remembered her history lessons. But Earth's teachers painted the war differently. Humans had defended themselves against hostile species, had fought only to survive. But hearing the fear in the Vexery's voice made her wonder. Had she been taught the whole truth? The next cycle, Drawl made his decision. "We cannot keep her," he told the crew. "If she is proof the Academy rises again, then every power in the quadrant will pay for her. But if the Alliance learns we carried her, they will burn us alive. We must choose, sell her or space her." The crew murmured uneasily, some hunger for profit, others for survival. Leora's chest tightened. She had never felt so small, so utterly powerless. But before the vote could be taken, alarms blared. An Alliance patrol ship had intercepted them. The rising conflict. The Kravatha's spine shuddered under tractor beams. On the view screen, a sleek silver vessel appeared, emblazoned with the sigil of the Galactic Alliance. A voice crackled through the comms. "This is Commander Reese of the Aegis Dawn. Power down your engines and prepare for inspection." Panic swept the crew. Alliance inspections were brutal, especially for smugglers. Drawl's eyes flicked to Leora. She understood instantly. If the Alliance boarded and found her in an Academy uniform, it would confirm humanity's betrayal of the treaty. The captain's jaw clenched. "Hide her," he ordered. But it was too late. The Aegis Dawn had already docked. Armored figures stormed aboard, their faces hidden by reflective visors. The smugglers were forced to their knees. Leora trembled, tried to make herself invisible, but one of the soldiers caught sight of her and froze. "Commander," the soldier said sharply, "you need to see this." Moments later, Commander Reese himself entered. His uniform gleamed in his eyes, piercing blue, locked onto Leora's. Then they fell to the crest on her Academy uniform, still lying on the table in Drawl's quarters. For a moment, his face was stone. Then, to her shock, he dropped to one knee. "Cadet," he said solemnly, "forgive the delay. We've been searching for you." The truth. Leora's mind reeled. "Cadet? What are you talking about? I'm just a student." Reese's gaze softened. "You don't understand yet. The Interstellar Academy never died. It went underground, hidden from the Alliance, training in secret, preparing. You are part of something far greater than you realize." She shook her head. "That's not true. My school is just normal." "Was it?" Reese interrupted gently. "Or did you ever notice the advanced curriculum? The drills disguised as games? The way your field trips always brought you to old war sites? They've been grooming you, child. You are the future of Earth's return to the stars." The word struck like lightning. Leora thought of her teacher's knowing smiles, of the strange exercises and strategy, of the way her uniform always felt heavier than simple fabric. Drawl growled, stepping between them. "If this is true, then you've doomed us all. Humanity cannot rise again. The galaxy will burn. Or be reborn," Reese countered. "The girl is proof that hope survives." The crew looked between them, torn between fear and awe. The ending. In the chaos that followed, Leora was given a choice. She could return with Commander Reese to the hidden arm of the Academy, where she would be trained, weaponized, and prepared to lead humanity back into the galactic stage. Or she could remain with the smugglers, clinging to a fragile safety in the shadows of lawless space. But as she stared at the pale faces of the aliens around her, the fear in their eyes, the memories of burned worlds, they weren't monsters. They were survivors, just like her. "I don't want war," Leora whispered. "If the Academy is real, then it needs a change. If I'm part of it, then I'll make sure it's for peace." Reese studied her, then nodded slowly. "Then you'll be more valuable than any soldier. You'll be the one who decides what humanity becomes." The smugglers released her reluctantly, watching as she stepped onto the Aegis Dawn. Drawl's final words echoed after her. Child of Earth, remember, uniforms carry history. Be certain yours does not carry blood. As the docking bay sealed and the stars stretched into light, Leora clutched her backpack to her chest. Inside it lay pencils, books, and a uniform that had changed everything. She wasn't just a lost girl anymore. She was the future, and the galaxy had gone pale because of her.